brought the ball up. Jack did a good job attacking. Got it to Brian. He passed it to me, and when I looked up, there was about 4 or 5 seconds left. And I just told myself, attack the rim, because if I attack, someone helps off, I can get a pass to an open shooter. And then I made a move, got the lane open, saw the shot blocker coming over, and I knew I just had to get it high enough to get over him and give it a chance to go in. And luckily for us, it did.
Scott.
Jack, you guys were down 13 coming right out of halftime. You made 2 buckets, and then you hit those 2 threes, which really started the trend for you guys to bring it back into single digits. Just talk about the mentality of coming out in the second half.
Yeah, we always think about coming out in the second half as momentum. We want to get the momentum of the game switched on our end, and we hadn't had it for much of the first half, so coaches tells us to run our offense, and if we hit singles, we'll get open shots, and we got open shots, and we were lucky enough to make them.
Matt.
Tyler, I was looking at the line here, and the ball lands kind of awkwardly on the rim. Were you going for glass, or were you trying to just scoop it in? I mean, did it feel right as it was coming off your fingers? How uncertain or certain were you?
I don't know if I was going for glass or not. One thing we do in practice a lot is coach always tells us to shoot it high, because if you shoot it high, it gives it a better chance to go in the basket. And when I saw the shot blocker coming over, I definitely knew I had to get as high as I could. But yeah, I don't think I was going for either one. When I shot it, I knew I had a chance to go in, and luckily it did.
Justin.
When you get the rebound, any thoughts of the timeout? Coach didn't call it, but even late in the shot clock, you're out pretty far. Any thoughts of the timeout at that point?
I did have some thoughts. I just was trusting coach would put us in the best situation to win the game. And when Jack was bringing it up and he didn't call a timeout, I knew we just had to attack, and that's what we did.
When
Tyler, at any level, have you had a game winner?
I have. The last game winner I think I had was middle school, so it was a while ago.
And was it even remotely comparable?
I don't think so.
Do you remember it at all?
Yeah, it was. It was in our little city tournament in the semifinals, and it was just a putback. It was pretty special. But I've been on a lot of teams, and this is probably one of the most special teams I've been on. So this one was pretty special.
Jack, I'd like you to go through that sequence you guys had a 5-point possession there. Could have been a 6-point possession, but you made that 3 after Tyler's miss. You guys had some free throw issues today, but managed to fight through. Talk about those 30 seconds.
Yeah, we got to the line, made one. Jordan came up big with the rebound, and then we went in the timeout, and coach stripped the play, and they went under the screen, so I popped back and saw the guy closing out. I'm lucky enough I was able to get it go over his outstretched arms, and lucky enough to go in.
Any other questions for student athletes? All right, gentlemen, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, questions for Coach McKillop. We'll start back here.
Coach, going back to the non-timeout call, is that a philosophy of yours, or you just play it by ear?
The way they were defending us, we were having a lot of time to create offense. And when you get a team in transition, backpedaling, no communication from the bench, of course it's far away, our guys are talented enough that they can make plays. And with Jack on the court and Brian on the court and Tyler on the court, I had the trust in them, and that's probably the biggest word, trust, that I trusted something was going to happen.
Glenn.
You said it a couple of times this season, you just said it now, that this is a special group. When did you first begin to sense that, and why?
When we were, it happened in late November and in early December. We had games in a 1-week span against Central Florida at Central Florida and Montana at Montana. Now, if you look at the records of those two teams, they didn't have banner years, but we had outstanding performances in very difficult environments. Montana was 2 plane trips. It was, and in both of those games, those teams came after us and knocked us to the mat hard. And we responded back, blow for blow, and then went and fought out of the center ring and got them on the ropes and kept them there. I came back from Montana, and anyone ever heard the post-game press conference at Montana on the radio, I was exhilarated, I was exuberant, I was just out of my mind with how thrilling our guys were. We put 110 points on the board, and they made great plays, Montana. They just hit us and hit us and hit us, and we'd come back and make a great play. Then they'd make one, and we'd make one, and it went back and forth. And I said, wow, these guys are pretty special. And then we go up to Charlottesville about 2 or 3 weeks later, and we went blow to blow with Virginia. And we didn't have Jordan in that game. He had a concussion. Jake Belford had just tore his ACL, so he was out. And we went blow to blow with them for about 32, 33 minutes. So as we turn a new year entering this conference, I said, we might have something pretty special here.
Coach, everyone's going to remember Tyler's shot, but for the final 451, you hold them without a single point. Can you talk about the defensive effort?
Yeah, I credit our assistant coaches. They were masters at changing defenses and getting the right matchups in there. My assistant coaches are extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary.
Bob, what were you able to do early on throughout most of the first half? They obviously wanted to go down low with their big guys. What were you able to do to kind of counter that?
Well, we came out in the second half and we played the post entry a little bit differently. We had played on the top shoulder of the post, and then we sat behind his butt after that, so that when he did catch it, at least he wasn't in a position where he was sliding off of us. We had to actually put a wall up so that his only option was to turn into the paint rather than drop baseline. And I think that Andrew McAuliffe came off the bench and used his bulk and size to really be a force doing that.
Thank you.
Coach, why has the small lineup been so effective for you guys?
Because all 5 of them can make plays. You see Jordan can put it on the floor and really get to the rim. Peyton Aldridge can handle close to a guard and can shoot the ball from 3. And of course the 3 other guys are point guards, shooting guards, body guards, lead guards, whatever you want to call them.
Justin?
How big was the shot right at the end of the half? It seemed that it got you to 9.
Well, I think the 2 possessions at the end of the half that got us, I think it was back-to-back threes. We went into the locker room, and we have this thing called Big Mo. We want to go into the locker room in that last minute and really dominate that last minute. So I walk into the locker room and I'm, yay! And they walk into the locker room, tap, 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 tap. What kind of halftime talk are you going to have? Well, mine's going to be pretty uplifting. What's theirs going to be like, oh, you took that. So that's all.
How do I write that?
That's right. See how the quote service does that right here, please.
Tom, you went 1-3-1 toward the end. Is that the assistants too come up with that? And
yes, they
did. I understand as long as you do.
They, in fact, on our last possession, we were going to go man, and Matt and Will, the 3 of them just says, well, we're 4-4 and 1. Let's stay with the 1-1-3-1. It was them. It was completely the assistant's call. And there's the trust factor again. I'm trusting these guys, and it's extraordinary to have that relationship.
All right, anyone else? All right, thanks, guys.